Now on to the first impression. I'm going to give you a nice parts list. So, welcome to Geeks 4x4, home of the bobbed excursion and the coil swapped excursion and the boat-sided excursion. But anyway, today we are going to give you guys a price breakdown, a parts breakdown, and my first impressions of the coil swap. So we're going to do this in a quick video, hopefully, and let's get right to it. All right, first things first is the price, and I want to just give you guys, a ballpark price. I ended up having to rebuild the brakes. I had to put new calipers on every wheel. I put new calipers and pads on every wheel. So new shocks and everything like that. I think I'm right around $3,000 with the axles, with the coil bucket mounts, and all of those brake parts and shocks and everything like that. So, and gear oil and all that stuff. I'm probably over $3,000, but that's a ballpark price. I paid $1,500 for the axles, and I think I got a great deal. So the cheaper you can find the axles, the cheaper the rest of it is going to cost you, obviously. Anyway, there's your price. All right, if you're buying a donor vehicle, you're gonna be able to do this for cheaper. I paid a little bit more for the brackets and stuff like that because I wanted some heavy duty setup stuff for what I'm doing with this truck, because it runs 40s and it's gonna be crazy. But anyway, let's start in the rear, and I'm gonna show you guys everything you need from your donor truck. So let's hop underneath there and show you the rear. All right, so first thing you're gonna notice is I have a new drive shaft, and that is a Tom Woods drive shaft. I knew I needed a drive shaft, but I did not plan to buy it for this swap, and I needed to, okay? So if you're getting a donor, I would grab the rear drive shaft. I believe that their rear drive shaft bolts up to our transfer case, but I'm not positive on that. If you've done that and you could post it below, that would be awesome. The rear, everything right here bolts right up to factory. That's not factory, but everything bolts right up to factory. I have the F250 brake line, the soft line from the frame to the axle, so I would just pull that off of the F250. And the other thing is that sensor right there. That is our speed sensor. And you need to pull your speed sensor out of your original axle and put it in this axle. It just bolted right in, and it works just fine. The other thing we have back here is the rear shock mounts. So those are from an Excursion. You need to pull those off of your Excursion axle. Somebody said something about flipping them on the 250 axle, but they're actually different. They have a different bracket for each side because one of them's forward and one of them's backwards, and you can't just flip the other one around very easily. So you want to pull off your original shock mounts. They're just U-bolted on. You can run your sway bars and everything just like you had it before, and they line up with that little tab. You see that little nub right there? They actually line up with that, and they go down underneath, and I have got them flipped over even more so that I get more clearance for rocks. All right, hopping to the front, you need the control arm mount. Obviously you're going to need that from the donor or buy that. PMF makes that mount. You can see that that's the one of theirs. You're also going to need the coil bucket mount, and again, PMF makes that, so you can buy it from them. If you can't get one on a donor, you're going to need the sway bar from the donor truck. It mounts our trucks. This is a 2000 Excursion, has this tab, so it mounts right up to that tab, no problems. You are also going to need the track bar bracket and track bar, and you are also going to need the steering stabilizer bracket. Now that one's custom built. I could not find one online in the time frame that I needed, and honestly it was hard to find one. So I'm gonna have to figure out something for the steering stabilizer bracket, but I built that one, and it lasted 2,500 miles, so that's pretty exciting. All of the steering on this axle is from the 05. The Pitman arm, this hole on ours, so this is the original Pitman arm for the 2000 Excursion with the original steering box. This hole is larger on the 05 pluses. So either you're going to upgrade the steering box, which I'm going to do, it just wasn't in the cards right before this trip, or you're going to ream this hole out to fit this bigger tie rod end. So yeah, that's those are your options right there, but that's pretty much everything. The front brake lines were another source of something that was weird. I ended up having to flip these things around and run them down there. That works just fine. And I'll show you this one too, so you guys have full understanding of what you're going to be going through. That one comes down and goes like that. But anyway, here's the setup on this side. Coil brackets. The 05s have the right ABS plug, but for some reason, I still have an ABS light. So if anybody can help me with that out, I really don't care for ABS for an off-road rig, so I might just delete it. But anyway, just be warned, something is going on. We'll talk about it in the comments. Hopefully, somebody talk. You'll notice that there is no bolt in my front sway bar because I wanted it to flex. I'm gonna pull that sway bar probably completely off. And then I also cut, you'll see when you get this axle that there's a bracket that shoots this this line up. And I cut that off so it could lay like this. You'll have to figure out your brake line routing, but there's what I did. Now on to the first impressions. So the first thing I noticed, I got 100 yards down the road and I had to make a tight turn, and wow, the turning radius is so much better. It is super quick to flip around, and I am very impressed with the turning radius. I didn't think I would notice that quickly, and I still have the factory 2001 box, so I don't think I even have full lock-to-lock like this truck is gonna have. I don't know for sure, but yeah, I'm pretty excited about the turning radius for the trail and long wheelbase. It drives excellent down the freeway. One hand on the wheel, the geometry is right. This front end is known for having a little bit of death wobble, and it's because the track bar and the drag link don't line up. And that's the same way on I went to my neighbor and I looked at his 05 and it's the same. So that's kind of a little bit weird. So when you hit the wrong bump on the freeway, you can actually kind of feel it try and move a little bit of bump steer. But man, driving down the freeway, this thing drives really nice. The brakes supposedly are way bigger. They're not that much bigger. The back caliper is like a ½ inch taller, and the front caliper is like the exact same. So I don't know if the pistons are bigger or anything like that, but yeah, the brakes aren't that much bigger, and I don't notice them being an amazing amount better. But you know, it is something. The turning radius is huge. The ride down the road is huge. I think that this thing would tow awesome because of the way it tracks. It just tracks so nice. It doesn't seem to fall in all those holes and stuff like the leaf spring truck has done for years. So anyway, that is my first impressions for 2,500 miles worth. I really like it. And I am kind of to the point where I didn't want to like it, but I really probably am going to start looking for axles for my white truck because it does drive that much nicer, and the steering, the turning radius is that much better. So anyway, that's my first impressions. Yeah, if somebody could reach out to me in the comments and explain, chat about me with ABS and stuff like that, I can either make another video or we can just do it in the comments. I would love to help everybody with this whole process and give them the entire thing. So anyway, those are the parts you need from a donor vehicle. Let's start on the rear. I'm going to give you a nice parts list. So first off, your shock mounts. You're going to use the Excursion shock mounts because the F250 ones are actually two different shock mounts, and if you flip them around, they're not going to be right. So you want the Excursion shock mounts from your original axle. Your speed sensor, you want the Excursion speed sensor. Just swap it out, easy peasy. The drive shaft is different because the axle flange is different. So you can grab the drive shaft from the F250, I believe, if it's the same wheelbase. So they do have a 137-inch wheelbase for an F250, or you get a custom one like I did from Tom Woods. And that is the rear. That's pretty simple for the rear, right? The front, you need the coil buckets. We're going to talk about the front drive shaft too really quick. It's a little bit short, but it does still have some play in that. The boot is all crushed down, but it still has enough play, and I didn't hit it on anything using it off-road. So as far as like, you know, compression, not. So the front drive shaft does work factory. You need coil bucket mounts. You also need coils. So, I know, obviously, weird, huh? The other thing to point out with the coils is that you kind of want one that is rated for a motor similar to yours. So these are 5.4 F250 coils, and they ride really well. A lot of guys say that the lift coils for the new ones, a lot of them are just spec'd out for the diesel. So be very specific if you have a gas Excursion that you're swapping this into, because you don't want it to ride like a brick because you've got diesel springs on the front of it. So There are companies, you just got to search them out. I don't know exactly who they are off the top of my head. That's a factory 2005 5.4 coil on the front of this truck. It netted me, lift-wise, about 2 inches of lift. So the same as the V codes on the front of my white truck. This hub defender is 25 inches. Okay, next you need the sway bar from the donor truck, and then you need track bar bracket, all the steering, steering box with the Pitman arm, or remount the Pitman arm, and the steering stabilizer bracket, and that's as simple as that. It's really straightforward. Factory brake lines on the 2005. And the ABS plugged right in, but again, my light is on, so we're going to talk about that. So anyway, hopefully I didn't ramble on too much and you guys got the information you came here for. If you did, and you enjoyed this content, if you'd hit that subscribe button, that would be awesome. And if I can help you out in any way, hit me in the comments below or send me an email, geeks4x4@gmail.com. And yeah, love to talk to you guys. Love to help out, and we'll see you on the next one.